All right, welcome back to season 7 of our show, and we have an extremely exciting show for you. We're bringing you a little bit back in time, showing you cooking from the 1700s using a Dutch oven. And we're demonstrating on a beautiful lamb shoulder for the holidays. Let's show you how to get it done. So right here we have a 10-pound lamb shoulder. This is our Dutch oven. So basically it's a cast iron pot, and it's made to go inside the fire. It's extremely heavy, it has a handle on it, and it has feet. And we're going to get to this a little bit later on, and we're going to show you how to place the fire around it, because the fire goes on top and on the bottom of here to show you a very primitive style of cooking. So check out our lamb. Lamb's looking right. This is a beautiful cut of meat. It takes a very long time to cook this, and what we have to do is infuse it with a bunch of flavor. So the first thing we're going to do is just score the top. So before I get my hands dirty, I'm just going to move it around and just score the top just like this. This is going to allow myself to put nice seasonings and spices in here. So just get the top scored. Just like that. And you can go pretty deep incisions. So I'm just going to look at the other side. I'm going to go a little bit deeper on here. And just like that, I think I'm going to end it. Enough just to get that open. Here's our seasonings. Some fresh herbs. We're going in with some thyme, garlic. So with our garlic, we're just going to take it and place it right into our mortar and pestle here. That's what we're using. It's a very rustic dish, so just throw a handful of this garlic in. We're just going to start to bash it up. So we're going to get this bashed up. At the same time, we're going to cut a lemon. Seeds and all, don't worry. So the lemon will just get this started, and then we're going to just bash this up a little bit more. And the object here is just to get this bashed up so you could just spread it right over top of the lamb. But it's a very rustic type of cook, so you're not going to have to go too nuts on here. Just get it bashed up. I'm going to throw in a little thyme, just to go in here with the thyme. So you just like that. Just bring some flavor out of the thyme. Some fresh sage. And then we got a little bit of rosemary. And I'm just going to drop the rosemary in. So just like this. Don't go too nuts. And just get it mixed up in here. So now that you got it bashed up pretty good on top of here, we're going to take a little avocado oil, and we're going to go right in here with the avocado oil. Loosen things up a little bit. And this is just going to make it glide onto the meat. So nicely bashed up. And there you have it. So we're going to park this for a second. So let's get some pepper on here. As much or as little as you want. I'm going in with some salt. Now this is rock salt, sea salt. You can look at the gauge on here. I mean, it's nice big clumpy pieces in here. So this is what you want to do. Just get that right on there. Just like that. I'm going to turn it over to the other side. And we're going to get that salt in there too. Looks like a lot of salt, but it's really not. I mean, this is a big cut of meat here. So just get the salt on there. And you're going to need a good amount of that salt. I'm going to turn it back over. Here are those herbs. And just right on top we go. And what you do is just rub them around on here. Just like that. And just try to push them down into those little slits. You won't really need to go too crazy getting them in there. But if you can get them in there, just get them in there. And that's it. I mean, look how rustic that looks, right? Now we're going to let this sit overnight, and then we're going into our Dutch oven with this. And we're going to show you how to finish this cook and get this on the fire in the morning. I'm going to put a little bit more of the oil on top. Just like that. And I'm going to let this sit overnight. I mean, how simple is that. Look how pretty it looks already. All right, we're gonna meet you back here, get cleaned up, and we'll meet you in the morning to put this on the cooker, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, 24 hours later, it's time to get our roast on. Let's show you how to get it done. So here's our lamb shoulder, beautifully marinated. I chopped up some onions, so the first thing we're gonna do is get these inside our Dutch oven. So we're gonna just put these on the bottom of the Dutch oven, just like that. It's gonna elevate that roast. And just give them a rough chop, just like this, nothing special. And just get them in, just to get that roast up off the floor of this. So we got a handful of onions in here. Here are those herbs. I'm gonna move this over. We're gonna throw some herbs down the bottom of here, just like that. And then we're gonna pick our roast up. All right, I'm gonna get it pushed down. And now we're gonna get our lid on. I'm gonna show you guys something. You see the number 12 on here? That number 12 represents how big this pot is. Now we are doing Dutch cooking today, and we're cooking this outside over coals. So you have to double this number, and that's how many coals we're gonna need to get this thing up to 350 degrees. 24 coals. 12-inch pot, 24 coals is what you're gonna need. And you're gonna also need 2/3 on the top and 1/3 on the bottom. And when we get outside, we'll show you how that works out. All right, we're at the fireplace. Time to get this going. All right, so here's our pot with that beautiful roast inside. Now, we're gonna have to get some coals into the bottom of here. 8 coals on the bottom. I'm gonna put this here. And now I need some coals on the top. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some coals out on the top. So those are over coals. Now, I'm just showing you guys this, how to use briquettes, but I use fire from the top. I just judge it out and I use real fire, and that's why I have that fireplace going. But giving you guys just a quick lesson in Dutch oven cooking, just spread them out. So I'm gonna spread these out over the lid just like that. That's it. I mean, this is as old and as primitive style of cooking as you can get. A couple of coals into the bottom, some on top, and we're gonna let this thing go for about 4 hours. That's how long this is gonna take. I got fire brick under here and fire brick surrounding this. This is my asado oven. Take a look around. I got our fire here in the middle, and this end is our Barbie. So I can hang things from here, pots. I can hang ribs from here on the top. I can put fire on the bottom, spread it across the floor. And most of the time I cook, it's this style of cooking, very slow and low. All right, we're gonna meet you back here and show you the rest of this beautiful meal, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're just 15 minutes in, and I want you to see this. So the temperature we're cooking at right now with the arrangement of coals we have on are exactly 350 degrees. Now, take a look in here. You see that? That's cooking already. You can hear it, you can see it. This is why people did this sort of cooking. And if you know how to cook the right way, you don't need any gas. You could just use wood chunks and put them on top of here, which is I usually do. I'm just showing you guys how to do it this way. But I usually go by feel and I put my chunks over here. So basically you want a 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000. I have to take my hand away from the top. And that's how you'll know how many coals to put on top of here. If you can't hold your hand here more than 5 seconds, it's too hot. All right, we'll meet you right back here. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, let's show you a shot of what we got. So our coals are getting a little weak on here, and I've got some more coals in here. Now you could do this in your driveway to your house. You could just put a couple of coals on the bottom and some coals on top, like I said. The number is on top, 24 coals, 1/3 of them under the bottom, and the rest on top, and you're good to go, which is 8 coals on the bottom and 16 on top. Let's check this out. Look at that. That looking beautiful? All right, we're gonna let it cook, change the coals, and we'll meet you back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. time to change some coals. All right, so we got our chimney here. I'm gonna take my Dutch oven, I'm gonna lift it up, and I'm gonna take my coals and just get them out of here. There we go, just like that. I'm gonna take 8 more coals and put them on the bottom. There we go. That's good enough. These are big holes. So we're gonna put these on the bottom. All right. And as far as our coals on top go, we just line this up. And we're gonna get these guys off of here. This is why you need a Dutch oven. And none of this will go in your pot. So just like that. And now I'm cooking kind of quick. I want to slow down the temperature of this. I'm going to put just a few up top. They're pretty big holes. So I'm going to separate them out and put just a couple up top. Just like that. My fire is cooking a little quick on the bottom. I'm gonna kick out one of these holes. And I'm gonna put it up top. Now I can see my pot and I can see the steam coming out the bottom. So you wanna judge it out. And that's how you do it. All right, there you go. So I'm gonna even these out, let this go, and we'll meet you back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we are hours into this cook, and I feel it's time to pull it, so let's show you what we got. Okay, check this out. Look at that. That is looking right. It's pulling from the bone. I'm gonna let this go a little bit longer because I really want this to fall from the bone. So we're gonna give it some more time. We'll meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got that lamb out of the fireplace and it's looking fantastic. Now we're showing you a beautiful rice to go along with it. This is basmati rice, olives, bell pepper, onion, and Szechuan. We're gonna use a little avocado oil to get this started. Onto the stove we go. All right, so right now we're cooking down some onions, bell peppers, and our olives. And I'm hitting them pretty hard here. Got a lot of heat on them. So we want to sweat these down nice and fast. Let's get our rice in. Now, I'm going to feel it out. I got 4 cups here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go with the whole 4 cups. I think I'm going to stop about there. See where I'm at. That's about 2 cups. I'm going to brown this off, and I got some hot water sitting on the side. I'm going to go a little bit more than 2 cups. I don't measure anything. Szechuan. It's going to go about there. Let's get this mixed up. We're just going to toast that rice off. Now it's really important that when you add hot water to the pan, you add hot water to the pan. You don't want to take a pan and number 1, cool it down, and number 2, you could warp your pan. So if you got a nice pan that you don't want to ruin, always add hot water to the pot. So this rice is nice and toasty. And now I'm going to hit it with the water. Hear that sound? That's what you're looking for. All right. I'm going to start with about that much. I'm going to bring this up to a boil. drop it back just a little bit. And when I see the rice starting to show, I'm going to turn it down on simmer and drop the lid in. No salt because it's in the olives. And you don't want this to come out too salty. So there it is. I'm going to bring this up to a boil. I'm going to drop it down just a little bit. And when I see the rice starting to come through, I'm going to put the lid on. And we'll meet you back here and we're going to show you a very fast salad. We're just going to make it a cold salad to mimic this. Here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're starting to see our rice, and you see how low that is, the water in there? Now you want to drop your lid on. It's about 10 minutes in. That's it. We'll meet you back here and make a salad. All right, that rice is on the stove cooking away. We got our meat done. Last stop on this train is a red bean olive bread salad. Let's show you how to get it done. So I love extremely simple, fun salads to make, and this one's one of them. So you're gonna need some red beans. These are red dark kidney beans. They're already boiled. I'm just gonna put them in a bowl. These are the olives that we had. We're gonna put these in a bowl. So look how simple this is already. This is champagne vinegar. We got a touch of marsala here, and we're gonna make our dressing with that, extra virgin olive oil, and a simple pepper, black pepper, and some oregano. So the first thing we'll do is just move this off to the side. These are the vegetables, right? The bell pepper and the onion. We're gonna finely cut these up. The salad comes together so easy and you don't need a lot of ingredients. But what this is gonna do is just mimic the flavors. So this way you got the same flavor and a little bit of everything. This is fresh, and the rice, that pot is cooked. So you got the fresh, and then you got the cooked. All right, so I'm gonna take these guys and right in with the olives and the beans we go. So you can see this coming along already. Now I got some bread here, stale bread, that I use. It's not 100% stale, but we're gonna show you what to do with that in just a second. Let's bring in a bowl. We need to make a dressing. A little of oregano. This is the champagne vinegar. I'm gonna go in about there. Maybe a little bit more, use it up. Touch of marsala. This is marsala wine, not cooking wine. Don't ever cook with cooking wines. They're filled with salt and they're not good. All right, olive oil. Nice healthy dose of that. And then we're gonna bring it together. See how simple that is? Well, I feel I could use a little bit more oregano, so we're gonna put it in. And then we're gonna put some black pepper in. Freshly crushed black pepper. All right, so there we have it. And we can leave that on the table in case somebody wants more pepper for this. All right, so bring it together. And there it is. All right, so we're gonna bring the beans back in and then right into the salad. It goes. Now on this one, we're gonna use our hands and we're gonna toss it. Now don't think that they're swimming in this right now. We're gonna need that for the bread. And let me show you what I mean. So off to the side we go with this. And here's our bread. So this is stale bread. And what I like to do, I'll take a cookie sheet. I'll get some of the stale bread onto a cookie sheet. And this is how I did this. Take our bread and just cut it up. Now it's crisp already. You don't have to crisp it up if you don't want to, but I like it just a little bit more on the crispy side. So this way, that salad just takes it in. So just like that, and just chop it up. And I like pretty big pieces. Here's an end piece, and hear that crunch? So like I said, you don't have to do this, but I like to do this. I'm gonna put this under the broiler. I'm not gonna put anything on it. I'm just gonna let the broiler go to work. And that's it. And we're gonna put these off to the side. We're not gonna mix them with the salad. Now, we'll do it at the dinner table because if you mix them now, you're gonna be stuck with a very soggy bean salad. And that's just not good. All right, so here we go. Under the broiler we go. All right, we're getting these croutons under the broiler. Just get them nice and crispy. That's it. We'll meet you on the chopping block to plate up. Don't go anywhere. All right, and here we are on a special season 7 chopping block, lamb, Dutch oven style. Let's take a look at what we got. Take a look at this. Doesn't that look gorgeous? I mean, just the entire way that a meal like this presents is outrageous. Now we let this cool down so it's still hot, but cool enough to touch. Now we're plating up a bit different tonight. We're gonna plate this up first and then we're gonna show you the meal. So here's our rice. Look at that. Nice fluffy olive rice. So what we're gonna do is plate this up with it. So we're gonna go in the middle just like that. I'm gonna put a little indent for our lamb. So for now, the lamb goes in the middle, and there's nothing like the juice of a lamb on top of rice. I'm gonna take this lamb and spin it around, and up and over it goes. See, here we go. Right on top of that rice. I'm gonna take some of these herbs off because we don't need them anymore. They did their job. Get them off to the side. Now we're gonna finish plating up with our rice. And when you put this out for your guests, they'll be stunned by this meal. We're just cleaning up afterwards. So I'm gonna just get this plate like this. I got a couple of rice drops on the top. We'll get those out of there. All right, I'm gonna spin this around. We're gonna get this side. But you guys see where I'm going with this. So just make everything look right. I'm gonna put some on this side. And you can save a little bit off side in the pot. But look at this, this just presents beautifully. All right, now I'm gonna show you this now. Watch this. Look at the bone. That pulls right out. Doesn't get any better than this. Look at this. Come on. Can't complain with this one, right? Let's give this a shot. Beautiful piece. That's outrageous. And then you can pull all the bones. So what I'll do is just, I'm gonna pull this apart, just like this. And we'll just kind of have it there, just to give to your guests. See that? Now look at this in the back. See these nice bones? I mean, it all just pulls right apart. So this is why you want to do this now. So I'm going to just pull all these nice bones out of here. This is Dutch oven style cooking. Now I never showed you this before. I'm showing it to you now. I can't show you everything. But this is just a start. And if you guys want to see more of this style of cooking, please let me know. See all the bones? They just come right out. So just pull all the bones out from the lamb. And now you have a beautiful lamb. Ooh, that's hot. I'm gonna pull this out too. But you can see all the bones just come right out of here. They're like fossils at the end of this. All right, take a look at this pot, by the way. Look in here. See, you don't want all this to go to waste. So what we do is just put it in a bowl like this. And this goes beautifully on top of the lamb. So this is all the goodies that came from the lamb. And this is gonna be your gravy. Everything is nice and soft, gorgeous. So just like that, just put it all in. Even though I just got a ladle, the sauce right on top of the meat when you serve it. All right, we're gonna meet you right back here on the official chopping block, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and here we are officially on season 7's chopping block, Dutch oven lamb. Let's plate up. I know you saw it before, but take a look at that lamb. I mean, that's just as old school wants to get. 1700 cooking. I tell you, I don't know why we ever stopped doing it. Look at the salad. So we got this nice salad here. These are our croutons. So let's show you how to get this done. So you're gonna take your croutons, just put them in a bowl. See all that liquid that we left in the salad? Just get them in there. Let them soak those croutons. So just like that, a little bit more. We're gonna give this a flip. Just like that. And here's our bowl. So right into our bowl we go. All right. I'll put that right over there. And doesn't that look great in there? And if you want, you can put just a little bit more of the bean juice right on top of there. And there it is. All right, let's get into this lamb. So we're gonna get some rice on this plate. I'm gonna serve it just like it's sitting on this platter. Rice with lamb. So we'll just take a good amount of that rice right in the middle of the plate. There it is. Maybe a little bit more. I'm a rice lover. And a couple more of those olives. Make a nice bed. All right. Now I'm gonna just get a couple of nice pieces on here. Doesn't that look beautiful? Get some of that nice sticky fat. Look at that. And then, to top this off, just gonna straighten out the plate a little bit. I'm gonna top this off. We're gonna get some of that beautiful onion gravy on top. See that? Now, while that was cooling, I actually threw a little bit of butter in here, just to get all those flavors up. And this is the way you want to do it. Just like that, right over the lamb. Beautiful. All right, here we go. Let's give this a try. Olive in there. You know, it's funny. This way of cooking in a Dutch oven, using just real fire, you can taste it in the food. You'll never taste anything like this unless it's over a fire. You could do this in your oven, absolutely, but it's not going to be like this. This is extraordinary. I think our ancestors had something going back in these days. Why they stopped it, I don't know. This is why I cook like this. I cook a lot like this off camera. I don't really show you guys this too much because I don't think a lot of you guys are interested in something like this. And if you are, please let me know. We'll do more cooks like this, but this is exceptional. All right, let's try that salad. I think all of you guys just heard why I put that salad together at the table, to keep that crunch. Beautiful salad. Goes along great with this meal. The beans, very refreshing. You have the same ingredients in the rice as that salad. One's raw and one's cooked. And the two together pair beautifully. All right, we're gonna get organized and we're gonna meet you guys right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. One primitive way of cooking Dutch oven lamb. We parked that right on a bed of rice, olives, onions, bell peppers. Goes beautifully with that lamb. And we gave you a gorgeous bean salad with olives, toasted bread, crostinis. I hope you like this one. And of course we gave you that lamb gravy on the side. That's a must. If you guys like this video, more videos about to come, give this one a like. Until next time, gotta get that last Pitmaster taste there.